My name is Janine, I'm from Germany, and I have a question for both of you. In the series, Dean has a guilty pleasure to watch Dr. Sexy on Dean. And the first question is if Sam has a guilty pleasure too, and the second question is if you boys have any guilty pleasures?
Sam watches Mrs. Dr. Sexy in this. And I don't know what our guilty pleasure.
Does Sam have a guilty pleasure?
I don't know. I think Sam is too aware of.
He's too focused.
He's too focused, and I think he's already worried that he's kind of evil. So I think he really stays away from
any entertainment whatsoever.
However, wasn't he watching like Casa Erotica or something?
It's
one episode, I think Eric Kripke was like, Kripke's a funny character. He's kind of like he kind of likes to throw these bizarre jokes here and there. So one time we're reading this episode, we have to shoot it, and I'm in a hotel room waiting for him to get home or something. And the scene, you're reading the script, and it's like Sam sits alone in a hotel room, watching the screen intently. Dean enters. Sam fumbles for the remote, turns it off, throws the remote aside, and he goes like, "What's going on, Dean? Like, how you doing?" So, but I think that was just Eric's tongue-in-cheek, kind of like, I'm gonna see if I can get away with this and put it on television. So,
what is Jared's guilty pleasure?
Jared's guilty pleasure. I love a good bottle of red wine.
No, television, man.
Television.
I assume, right? What shows do we watch that we might not want you to know about, but we're going to tell you anyway?
There is one. I watched, they're totally silent.
And
Pawn Stars.
Pawn Stars?
Pawn Stars isn't Plasmania. Antiques Roadshow?
Really? Antiques Roadshow?
Yes. We were in,
Gosh, you should feel guilty about that.
I was on vacation with my wife, and we were sitting down, and have you all heard of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette? So the host of that show, which is enormous in the United States, is also the host of Antiques Roadshow. And so people were like, that's the host of The Bachelor, that's the host of The Bachelor. We're like, that's the host of Antiques Roadshow, that's the host of Antiques Roadshow. We were like getting giddy and stuff. But I do have another guilty pleasure. Where it is? Oh, all the like cooking shows like Iron Chef and stuff like that. Yeah, all the shows about food and people are saying that
food, wine.
Yeah, but they're like he can't cook. He ruined those French fries or something. There's like, I don't know. It's kind of gossipy. I guess I watch it's tough because working in the business, it's so hard to watch another show. So you kind of just want to watch something to take your mind off of everything, which I guess is what kind of Supernatural does also. But when you do something so heavy, you just want to watch something kind of like goofy and silly and something that doesn't require too much attention.
Which leads me to my guilty pleasure. Because I, like you said, watching another dramatic show doesn't really interest me. I tried to get into Lost first season. I think I watched just a few episodes and was like, oh, I don't want to watch this. I'm lost. I'm already lost. Yeah. So I watch comedy shows, like half-hour comedy shows, and I'm really liking Modern Family. You guys get that? It's very funny. The Office. And for those kind of diehard, what's it called? I've seen the British Offices, and they are amazing. So. How I Met Your Mother I think Dean Winchester and Barney Stinson need to get together and just carry on women all day long.
Maybe we should
not Neil Patrick Harris, because that obviously wouldn't work. But Barney Stinson. So yeah, there's a couple of my guilty pleasures.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi guys.
How are we doing on time? Are we... Everything good? I mean, I'll stay here all 11 minutes. 7 minutes, and then photo. 7 minutes.
Hi guys,
the Hunter. Can I just say, Jensen, for the record, I was at the first Asylum convention and I thought you handled the flying fangirl so well.
She was in the first one.
Yeah. That was crazy, right?
It was total.
It was awesome.
I've been fortunate enough to meet you guys quite a lot, and I still get really, really nervous around you.
You get nervous. I get nervous.
I'm nervous right now.
I am nervous.
I was just wondering how nervous you guys get coming out here to talk to all of us, and
He's sweating profusely.
Zoom in.
and how does that vary from different countries, from different conventions and stuff? How do the fans react to different?
In different countries?
Like, are you nervous right now talking to everyone?
I get nervous. I mean, I do get nervous because as much as I'll talk because they turn off the microphone.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
I get nervous because as much as it's funny for me to see sometimes when some of you guys get nervous because I think it's equally like we kind of have a symbiotic relationship, you know. So it's like I appreciate y'all as much as y'all appreciate me or Sam or him. Seriously, because it's like. He's playing with his microphone. But so you want to, you know, we're actors and we are out there like crying on television and naked and like, we're it's a very vulnerable position to be like, we were watching the little video, I was like, oh, I'm gonna towel. Oh, I'm crying. Oh, I'm dead. I'm getting sick. So you put yourself in such a vulnerable position so many times and on film that when you finally meet people that know your work, you're like, I hope you liked it. I hope it was good. I hope I don't smell.
I do like it.
Yeah, well, I do, and every time it's nice to come back and they're like, oh, they do. And I think more than just different countries, I think it varies just time to time. I think it kind of varies what's going on with the show. A lot of times the reaction, because sometimes the crowd will be like, answer this question. Sometimes they'll be like, don't talk about anything, because we're like behind it. So it kind of, the energy, it just depends. And how early it starts.
There's also, I mean, like you're here in Spain, saw you in England a number of years back, and I think there's a lot of people that kind of come to, you know, multiple ones. So we see a lot
I've seen
of
you many times in between that as well.
Yeah, so, you know, it's, in that aspect, you see a lot of people, but I think there's that nice common denominator of appreciation for one thing, and that's the show Supernatural, which we appreciate because it keeps us employed, and you appreciate because it allows some sort of entertainment. I don't know what, you know, from all different aspects in your lives, and we appreciate that. And I think to have that common denominator of appreciation for something is kind of what is great. What brings us all together, and I think it's kind of what keeps everybody on the same page.
And it does. And there's also just not to make it unromantic, but there's the cold hard truth of, I guess without Jensen and Jared, there would be no Supernatural. But without y'all guys, there truly would be no Supernatural. Truly, truly, truly. And that's it. I wish I could truly something about the details too much. But the bottom line is that if no one is really watching a show or enjoying a show, there's no show on. And so,
you guys are just as big of a link in the chain as we are. So.
Right. So,
thank you.
Yeah, we're making this together. Thank y'all guys. Thank y'all.
Thank you.